Good morning. It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, and I am absolutely at the opposite end of when I normally come live for you on a Wednesday. It's Nicole with Equally Creative by Nicole, and we have parent teacher conferences today, so I'll be working until 6 this evening. And I just didn't want the pressure of rushing home, and even though I was prepared to get online in the evening. I'm probably going to be exhausted just because it's a different schedule. And so I thought, why not just come live in the morning before I get ready for work, or before I leave for work, because I'm ready for work. So I am going to be drinking my coffee and putting together the Christmas Ornaments Kit with you. This kit is the kit that is coming with your bingo class. So even if you're not here in person for bingo, you can. I have opened it up to do a virtual option. So you can join us via Zoom to play a little bit of bingo, win some prizes. But of course, it's a class. We're going to create a card, a gift bag, and a tag to go with that. And then you get to take home one of these beautiful Christmas ornament kits and some prizes. So I've got prizes on their way. Hopefully, I think tomorrow is when my box should arrive. So I'll do a little unboxing so you can see some of the prizes that will be out and available for you to choose from. So I'm going to switch over to my overhead camera. Um, let's see, put my coffee over here. All right, so you will need a glue gun when you go to put this together. Okay, so I literally have laid everything out and I've already made an oops, so I can share with you how not to make an oops. So when you are punching out the perforated, beautiful, dainty items here, you're going to want to be a tiny bit more gentle than I was. I'm hoping that I can hide this little oops as I get to assembling everything. Now I have pulled everything apart. I've got it out and ready. Um, I'm going to do one of the small ones first. This does make 9 ornaments. So there are these large rings and small rings. So you'll get 6 large and 3 small. So those are your ornaments. You get the fun inside pieces that are pre-cut. Um, all these little bits and pieces. You'll get some adhesive dots, some pre-made bows. We've got some acorns and berries, not acorns, pine cones and berries. I don't see any acorns in there. And again, everything you need, and some dimensionals. So I'm going to try. The only thing I did not prep was the strands of this beautiful shiny gold string. So I believe it says 18 inches. And we're going to do at least one of each, just kind of like a tutorial. We're going to learn how to do this together. But I'm going to go ahead and cut the 3 pieces of twine that we need. My board here is about 15 inches, so I'm doing a tiny little bit of math, the width of the board, and then I'm adding 3 inches to that. So that should be roughly 18 inches. And I have some extra of this if I run out in my stash. So hopefully I didn't cut off too much. All right, so full color instructions come with this. So I'm going to take a look. This page right here shows us what we need for each one. So if I'm doing the small one, I'm going to need one of the small rings. I'm going to need one of my strands here. I am going to want one of these. I need 2 pine cones, and I need the small gingham here. So 1, 2. 2 pine cones. So cute. Okay. Oh, and I need one of these little pieces. Okay. All right. So now I can find the directions for number 1. And let's see if I can do this fancy tying of the string. So looks like they do this loopy thing in the beginning. So I'm meeting these ends here, and then I have this loop over here. So putting it through here and through the loop. Okay, and then I'm going to pull this forward. And let's see, there is a little... Okay, so I'm going to show you this. There are 2 little dots on here, so I'm going to add 2 glue dots here. So put a glue dot at the bottom where that loop is going to hold tight. And oh my goodness, I'm moving my coffee mug to the other side because I don't want to throw my adhesive backings into it. That would not have been fun. Okay, so then I'm going to put another adhesive dot directly across from there. Okay, so now I will move this over here. Kind of get that to stick right on there. Okay, that works. And then the top, it looks like they put one in front and then they tied it somehow at the top here. So I'm going to do that right here. Okay, so now I have the string part tied. I think I'm going to put a knot in mine. I can't tell if it's knotted or not, so I'm just going to add that knot right there. And then because it's an ornament, they have it knotted at the top. I'm going to leave mine loose. I like to add ornaments as like gift package, toppers, tag. It creates a tag on a hanging bag, so I might want to tie this later. So I'm going to leave that. So the second step is going to be to add these pieces. So I'm going to put some of the dimensionals behind here, and it looks like 2 of them end up being we're going to close it this way, even though I guess you close it and leave this white on the back. So you could use this as a tag all the way. So it looks like this would go ahead and put a piece on here. Get this out of the way. So it's underneath my string, but it is over the edge here. So I want to make sure that some of my dots are going to hold it into place in the center of our disc here. 1, 2, 3, yeah, and it does show 6. So I've got those on there. So now you can see it's gonna just be attached all the way. I'll peel all the backings off and close it up. So these pieces do come to where they are attached at the edge. And this is now the back of my design. So I will turn this over. We will add the rest of our elements. All right, so we're going to put this little piece on here, and this goes on dimensionals. So if you can see here, it shows me where to plug those dimensionals in to the design, and it is double-sided. So I don't know why I have such a large. I'm gonna grab some minis. I don't know if I swapped out the items in here, but if yours are too big, you can trim them. But it looks like, let's see, I'm gonna put it on the leaf here, but I am gonna use a mini right here because that's what fits. So it is possible with the mess on my table that I used the large dots instead of the small dots, but obviously it doesn't matter, and I'm adding an extra one here. And then this piece gets a dot right in the middle. So I'm going to venture to say that I swapped out somehow my pieces. So let's go ahead and put this one on first. And I've got a lot of stuff on here, cluttering up my view. And this one goes right here at the bottom. There we go. Let's see if I can pull this down a little closer. All right. So here is where we need our glue. So we're going to use one of these and 2 pine cones. I've got a glue gun sitting, which you can't really see. I can show you what that looks like. I've got my little silicone pad under here ready to go and catch any of those drips. Looks like I'm going to put a little bit of glue at the bottom here. So you've got 1 and 2. And then a little bit of adhesive for the bow. It feels like I should have put the bow on first, but okay, so we have a little bit of glue on here. I'm going to tuck this right here. Okay. Oh my goodness, that is so cute and so easy. All right, so that is the first one. Let's see. I love that. Okay, so this is the small one. You can see how big it is. It fills the palm of my hand. So that is definitely gorgeous. And yes, you can write on the back. All right, so number 1 out of the way here. Let's see. Pull my camera up just a little bit. All right, so now let's look at the second one. So I'm going to need a large ring. We're going to use this beautiful green. Okay, we've got one of these, this one that I broke. Let's see if I can fix this when we assemble it. And then I'm going to need 3 pine cones. It looks like 1 big one and 2 little ones. And a group of 3 berries. Okay. Then I've got dimensionals. I've got 1 string. And I believe that is everything. Okay, so now we'll come and we'll look at number 2. We're going to put those glue dots at the top and the bottom again. To help those twine pieces stay on there. So get my loop together. Okay, there's the first one. There we go. Trying to cover that up a little bit more so that it stays on that glue dot. All right, there we go. And then we'll come back to the top here and we'll do that little knot because that worked out really, really well. Obviously, this one's going to be a tiny bit shorter because it is the larger ring. It's the larger ornament. So just make a little knot here. And again, I'm leaving mine open because I love to attach them to the gifts. Just plug that on there. Okay. So again, we're going to do this one. So I'm going to tuck this under and put some some dimensionals on there. I'm going to use the big ones for this. It's going to straddle that string really well. Obviously, you can use the minis for this as well. I'll have to open one of the packages and figure out if it was supposed to have the minis or the full size. If you are headed to work this morning, feel free to catch this later on the replay and let me know. I'd love to know where you are watching from or if you had a chance to catch it. Okay. All right, so we've gotten this far. So next we're going to add our pieces down here. So we're going to add this piece first and then this piece. So let's see. I really love this plaid. It's a lot of fun. So we're putting 2 glue dots in the center of this. And then this is going to go across the whole thing. This little guy gets a dimensional right in the middle. This is a double-sided piece, so it doesn't matter which one I go with. We're going to put this on here, and then I think what I'm going to do is try to use a glue dot. And put that there. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's add a glue dot right here. I'm going to tuck this under right there. Okay. Now, you can get fancy with these leaves. You can add some dimension. You can kind of bend them a little bit where the stem would be. So I'm just adding a little bit of dimension there. Nothing fancy. If you have a take a pick tool, you can put your scoring piece on there. If you have a scoreboard, you can use a scoring tool. So this is going to go, I'm going to turn it so that it kind of covers my oops so that it's not really an oops. And it looks like we have two of the dimensionals that go on the back. So let's turn this direction. Add this down. So now we had our oops and it is completely covered. I'm going to throw in another dimensional. You always have extras, so if you don't like the way something is sitting, you can add a little extra. I am curling my leaves a little bit on those edges just for some extra texture and dimension here. All right, time for the glue gun again. So now we're going to do these 3 pine cones. They're going to be a little bit on their sides, so put one on the side like this. We're going to put those berries where these meet up. Let's see, turn that. I have my glue gun on the cool setting, so it will have a little bit of extra strings of glue. And then we'll put a little bit of glue in the center here. And we will plug in these berries. Right there. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is ornament number 2. Super easy. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's move on to the last one for the morning. So I know we need the large hoop, and then we will need the large gingham here and one of these to hang it with. So I'm looking at number 3 over here. So this is going to get one of these fancy pieces and one of these, and then a large and a small pine cone. And the gold berries. Okay, let's put number 3 together. Looks like the beginning is the same, so we're going to put a glue dot at the top and a glue dot at the bottom and get our string attached. All right. Making sure that it is on this glue dot so it does its job. Again, we'll come across to the top here, split this up so I can pull one to the top and one to the back and tie it right here. lay on the table for a second while I tie it. There we go. Okay. This gets even easier as you go along. All right, so next we will plug in this part. Again, it's going to go on the back here. Let's do the minis just in case, so you can see how the minis work on here as well. Okay, minis do the same thing. I'm pretty sure it comes with a sheet of minis and not the big ones, but again, if it comes with the big ones, because I have got my stuff a little mixed up, then you can always trim them in half in the event that you feel like it's too big for the piece you're going to put it on. All right, so now we'll flip this over to the back. And we're going to do these guys again. So I'm going to do a little bit of folding closer to the edge just to give it that little bit of extra texture. Again, if you have like a stylus tool with the rounded edges, you could do that. All right, this little guy is going to go on first, and we get some dimension on there as well. So let's add this at the bottom here. And then we get a couple more on here in the center. And we'll plug this on as well. And this one goes down. And then we're going to glue. Oh, and we have a bow. I missed the bow at the beginning. The bow on this one will go on the top. So pretty. Okay, let's glue our pine cones on. This is a great way to start my morning. Just for the record, crafting before work. Who would think? I wonder how many of you out there do that, because I am loving this. Usually I walk before work. I have not been walking. I have fallen off the wagon. I've been eating junk just to, you know, add to the falling off of the wagon process. But crafting before work. Oh, maybe I should just jump into that and save my walks for after work. Who knows? Oh, in case my head was in the way there. Okay, that fits on really well. Okay, now we're going to add our bow. I love that these bows come pre-tied, because then they're all uniform. And I didn't have to do it. Okay. Ornament number 3. Finished. I love it. So they take about 10 minutes each if you are if you're telling other people how to do them. So feel free to catch this video, share it with your friends that are buying this. If you've got a group of people who are putting together ornaments, I would love to know. And let me know what time of day is your favorite to craft, because this might just be one of my next best times to get online. Who knows? Got some coffee, and I'm gonna plug away for a few more minutes, see if I can get a couple more of these ornaments ready for the holidays. Again, I have bingo at the end of the month. I would love for you to join me, and this kit is one of the items that you get to go home with just for coming to bingo. So I look forward to having you. Let me know if you want details on bingo. I'll see you all next week.